What if I told you the Cleveland Browns are about to pull off a move that could send shockwaves through the entire AFC North? Not next season, not next month, right now. And it involves a veteran defender who's been quietly anchoring this team while everyone's been focused on the quarterback drama and playoff dreams. Stay with me, because what's happening behind closed doors in Berea could reshape this franchise's future in ways most fans aren't even talking about yet. Look, we all know the Browns have been in transition mode. It's not a secret. But here's what most people are missing while they're busy arguing about Watson's contract or whether Kevin Stefanski can actually get this team over the hump. The front office is playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. They're making calculated moves that might not make headlines today, but could define this team's trajectory for the next 3 years. And the latest piece of that puzzle? Shelby Harris. Yeah, that's Shelby Harris. The 11-year veteran defensive lineman who's been a steady presence on this defensive line since he arrived in Cleveland. Now, before you roll your eyes and think this is just another veteran getting shipped out, hear me out. This isn't your typical salary dump or desperation trade. This is strategic warfare, and the Browns are finally showing they understand how to build a sustainable contender in this league. Think about what we've already seen this offseason. Joe Flacco gone. Greg Newsome traded away. These aren't panic moves. These are calculated decisions by a front office that's learned from their mistakes and is now committed to doing things the right way. Harris is 34 years old. He's got 11 seasons of NFL battle scars, 3 sacks over the past 2 years with Cleveland, 2 forced fumbles, and more than 60 tackles while playing a rotational role. Those numbers might not jump off the page at you, but here's the thing. Teams around the league are paying attention. Teams that are one piece away from a legitimate playoff run. Teams that need that grizzled veteran who's been in the trenches and knows how to win when it matters most. And according to multiple sources around the league, the Browns aren't just listening to offers. They're actively shopping him. This is where it gets interesting. Cleveland isn't asking for a king's ransom here. They're not delusional. They understand Harris's value in today's market. They're looking for a mid to late round pick, something they can flip into young talent or use as ammunition for a bigger move down the line. It's smart. It's pragmatic. And honestly, it's refreshing to see this organization finally thinking 2 and 3 steps ahead instead of constantly mortgaging the future for a win-now move that never quite works out. But let's talk about where Harris might land, because this is where things get absolutely fascinating. The Dallas Cowboys keep coming up in these conversations, and honestly, it makes too much sense. Dallas just got embarrassed by the Carolina Panthers. Yeah, you heard that right. The Panthers. Dak Prescott threw 5 touchdown passes, and they still found a way to lose because their defense looked like a revolving door. Jerry Jones is sitting in his war room right now trying to figure out how to salvage this season, and a veteran presence like Harris could be exactly what Mike Zimmer needs to patch those holes along the defensive front. Dallas isn't giving up a first-rounder, obviously, but a late-round pick for a situational pass rusher who can mentor young guys like Osa Odigizwa? That's a phone call Andrew Berry should absolutely be making. Then you've got the San Francisco 49ers lurking in the background, and this one's spicy. Nick Bosa is likely done for the season. That's catastrophic for a team that built its entire defensive identity around elite pass rush. John Lynch is one of the smartest general managers in football, and he's not about to let his Super Bowl window slam shut because of one injury. Harris isn't replacing Bosa. Nobody's replacing Bosa. But he can provide quality snaps in a rotation, he can bring playoff experience, and most importantly, he won't break the bank. San Francisco has been masters at finding value additions at the deadline, and Harris fits that profile perfectly. And we can't sleep on the Detroit Lions either. Detroit's been one of the best stories in football this season. Jared Goff is playing out of his mind, the offense is explosive, but that defense has been held together with duct tape and prayers. They just went toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, and while they came up short, it proved they're legitimate contenders. But injuries have ravaged their defensive line. Aiden Hutchinson's been carrying that unit on his back, and they desperately need reinforcements. Harris next to DJ Reader in that rotation? That gives them legitimate depth for a playoff push. Dan Campbell is exactly the kind of coach who'd love a veteran presence like Harris in that locker room. Here's what makes all of this so compelling for Browns fans. This isn't about giving up. This isn't about waving the white flag on the season. This is about building intelligently. Cleveland has been stuck in this purgatory for 2 decades where they're either tanking or going all in with no middle ground, no sustainable plan. What Andrew Berry is doing right now is creating flexibility. Trade Harris, get a pick, open up some cap space, let younger guys like Alex Wright and Isaiah McGuire get more reps and develop. Maybe that pick becomes a cornerstone player in next year's draft. Maybe it becomes trade capital for a blockbuster move next offseason when the quarterback situation is finally resolved. The AFC North is an absolute meat grinder right now. Baltimore's got Lamar Jackson playing at an MVP level again. Cincinnati's got Joe Burrow slinging it all over the field when he's healthy. Pittsburgh's doing Pittsburgh things, grinding out ugly wins with defense and determination. Cleveland's front office knows they can't compete with those teams by standing still. They need to be aggressive, they need to be smart, and they need to think beyond just this season. And that's exactly what trading Shelby Harris represents. It's not emotional. It's not nostalgic. It's business. It's recognizing that you have an asset with value, a player who can help other teams win now, and leveraging that into future resources for your own rebuild. Harris has been a professional. He's been productive when called upon, and frankly, he deserves a chance to compete for a championship in the twilight of his career. If the Browns can send him to a contender and get something valuable in return, that's a win for everyone involved. The next few weeks are going to be absolutely critical. The trade market is heating up, contenders are identifying their weaknesses, and teams like Cleveland, who are retooling, have leverage. Barry's phone is probably ringing off the hook right now with teams inquiring about Harris and other veterans on this roster. Every move matters. Every decision ripples through the next 3 seasons. This is how you build a sustainable winner in the NFL. You don't panic, you don't make emotional decisions, and you always think about tomorrow while you're dealing with today. So Browns fans, I need you to adjust your expectations and your perspective here. Yes, we all want to win now. Yes, we're tired of waiting. But would you rather see this team make another desperate all-in move that blows up in 2 years, or would you rather see them build something sustainable, something that can compete year after year after year? Trading Shelby Harris might not feel good in the moment, but if it leads to the right draft pick, the right cap flexibility, or the right trade ammunition down the line, it could be the move we look back on as a turning point. This is the kind of content we bring you here at Browns Breakout, by the way. Real analysis, real insight, not just regurgitating what everyone else is saying. If you're getting value from this breakdown, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. We're building something special here, just like the Browns are trying to build something special in that front office. Help us get to 1,000 subscribers by sharing this with your fellow Browns fans who need to understand what's really happening with this team. The bottom line is this: Cleveland is not done making moves. Shelby Harris is just the beginning. Whether he lands in Dallas, San Francisco, Detroit, or somewhere else entirely, this trade signals that the Browns are committed to building the right way. They're not chasing short-term fixes anymore. They're thinking strategically, they're accumulating assets, and they're positioning themselves to be real contenders when the pieces finally align. That might not satisfy fans who want playoff wins right now, but it's the smart play. It's the sustainable play. And honestly, it's about time this organization started making smart plays. So keep your eyes on this situation. Keep your eyes on the trade market. Because when that Harris trade goes through, and it feels like when not if at this point, it's going to tell us everything we need to know about where this franchise is headed. The AFC North is about to get very interesting, and Cleveland is positioning itself to be a major player in that conversation for years to come. Buckle up, Browns fans. The real work is just beginning, and it's going to be one hell of a ride.